Welcome back from the break. Hopefully, you've got your Red Bull, you've got your snacks as we head into Bind, and there's going to be a fairly standard comp for the defending side. And for the attackers, I mean, another fairly standard comp, Harthian hovering that Waylay, Sofa on that Yoru, fairly standard comps for both the sides.
Yeah, honestly, nothing out of the ordinary. The most out of the ordinary pick would probably be the Waylay, but even that is Waylay is kind of set in stone in the meta currently, so it's not really that outlandish. But yeah, pretty much mirror on both sides. Just a few augmentations. Well, actually, just one. Actually, it's just the Chamber and the Waylay. So we'll see how this goes. It is kind of just a mirror matchup.
Yeah, Maynooth will be starting on this defending side. Is TCD going to be on the attack side, and I think TCD on this map in week one looked okay, looked a bit shaky at times, but overall very solid performance. Definitely something to build out from, and it's going to be interesting to see how the two teams really compare.
Yeah, and with such like a close comps, like it is kind of just to see who has a better understanding of how they're supposed to play the map and their roles, and just also the usual Irish collegiate of who aims better. So it's going to be interesting to see which team has a smarter idea is what I want to see. Like the scrappy fights are always fun to see, but I do want to see someone just completely outplay, have a smarter idea, have a better take or retake. So once again, I'm just excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, definitely so. We're going to be starting with a heavy presence towards B for TCD. And the Fade Eye is going to catch 3 people towards B main. And this is going to definitely hinder anything that TCD want to do. But they're not going to be baited on Maynooth, as Pandu fires some shots into the smoke and gets nothing in return. But ultimately, Maynooth have been forcing TCD to stop, and the Ghost Switch has been hit by Katsu. Gets that first pick onto Zen. Now Pandu is got surrounded by enemies on all sides. He's playing it John. Ahead, Katsu will go down to Pandu as the Fade fights through themselves. There's Benas on the flank. Well, not even on the flank, coming through CP, catches Soak off guard. The Saturate will miss, and now it's just maybe that 1 versus 4. Hardian has to do so much. And Pandu with a 3k holds their ground as Maynooth take the first round.
I mean, that was a very nice hold for Maynooth there. I think I did see Piggy John disconnect. Yeah. So on the take in Hookah, there was a double hold, and they got a nice pickup onto the Rays early there, TCD, but didn't expect another. So it was actually quite a good hold from Maynooth there with the double up. I think it was Pandu there who got 2 off of it. So very nice hold. I think the push was just too slow. That eye at the start was very good at slowing down the take, and they didn't expect the double hookah hold. So very well played from TCD there, or sorry, from Maynooth. Very good hold.
Yeah, TCD getting a bit unlucky. But Pandu doing exceptionally well to get a 3k there. Even if it's just by themselves, and even that first Fade Eye catching 3 members of TCD in B main was a work of art. As
Yeah,
we, sorry, go on.
I don't know. They had a set idea of what they wanted to do. They wanted to maintain that hookah space and then just do a flood retake, and it worked out perfectly. No one expected a double hold in the hookah there. So very well played, honestly, from Maynooth there. Very well played. And they also funneled the orbs towards the Fade off of his 3k as well. So they're going to start building that up early, which is going to be nice for retakes if they ever want to do that. So you couldn't really ask for a better start off of a pistol round here. And if they can convert, then we'll see how the bonus goes.
We'll see any of these strategies, any of these team comps at Santiago at all.
I'd probably expect the standard comp that we're seeing from Maynooth here. I'm not really sure how the Waylay fits in onto Bind here because the Raze is such a staple of Bind, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some teams try it out. But like the standard of Viper and Brim is not going to get replaced anytime soon. It's so important to maintain that smoke presence all over the map, and just the pure delay that both Viper and Brim maintain during defense is so important. So probably we're going to see this exact comp that Maynooth is running in Santiago, but I wouldn't be surprised with some variations. Maybe no Chamber, but once again, Chamber has just been a staple recently as well. So they are running fairly meta comps here, both of them.
Well, you know, if players like Pandu can keep up this performance, maybe we'll see them in Santiago. As part of all gamers, all of the gamers.
Yeah, Ireland Collegiate, known for producing some of the best talents in VCT, actually.
Yeah.
Some like Aspas, very known Irish player.
Yeah, did you know Demon 1 actually is Irish as well? Not
oh yeah, of course. Only the best.
Yeah, of course.
When you run the Irish Collegiate brackets, the gauntlets, then there's honestly no competition that can best that. It's a one and done. You do that Ireland Collegiate and you don't go back. It's too difficult.
Boast is not Irish, and that's why he choked 3 grand finals last year.
Don't mention that to me. I'll start crying.
Yeah, G2 is actually full of Irish players, except for the head coach, and that's why they can't win anything.
That would add up, honestly. I think that maybe Leaf stops being Irish whenever he goes international, though.
Yeah, Leaf actually got named after a clover leaf.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. It all adds up now, actually. I was wondering why they were able to do so well and why Leaf was so dominant regionally.
Yeah, it's like, you remember the old TikTok account where they would just find Poland and everything? It's like that, except with VCT players in Ireland.
Oh.
It's like Ireland is everywhere.
It makes sense. And TechPause is finally done. We're seeing a just pure A hit through shorts here. So that'll be interesting to see how it runs out here, especially into a chamber with an outlaw. He should be able to get maybe 2 and get out. If he gets 1 even, that's good enough. Hopefully TCD can find something from this, but once again, you're running into an outlaw.
Yeah, definitely. So we can actually get back to doing our jobs competently now and not just waffling on. As Benes is going to be forced into a bit of a problem here as gets 1 for the troubles, but Snowfire's actually going to be able to recover that Bulldog as Benes just overwhelmed the Molly. It wasn't the greatest, as Sophie now going to take this fight with Cammy, and if Cammy goes down here, you're starting to worry a lot for Maynooth about their chance to convert this bonus here, and you're looking at Rosev to try and make a play, as near enough all of TCD will take that TP apart from Diverdi, who will get caught out. As Sofa actually finds Zen again, and all of a sudden this is starting to become a bit costly for Maynooth, as Piggy John Sofa, okay. Someone check his PC. The 3k for the Yoru. Oh, it's not actually through the smoke, it was a small gap. I thought it was just a blind fire through smoke, but this has become costly for Maynooth, and even if they win this round, it's not looking great.
Yeah, losing that Bulldog early on is so costly for TCD, for Maynooth here. And this retake is just so difficult. You have a Spectre and an Outlaw. The Spectre needs to find the early frag. Oh no, it just seems over. Oh no, wait, Cammy's still alive. He has the Spectre as well.
Yeah, Cammy, he having to come online in a massive way, but it's going to be a thrifty for TCD. As Katsu converts to that, but the rated MVP of that round is Sofa for a 3k. And taking the Bulldogs out of the hands of Maynooth, really winning them that round.
Yeah, very strong fight down short there, honestly. Sofa just instantly on that trade on that Lamps fight, and taking that Bulldog is just such a big costly gun, especially when you compare it to the rest of the buy that Maynooth had. That was one of their strongest weapons, and they lost it almost immediately. And then the TP play as well was massive. They caught them just when the race had started to rotate, and it seems like it's going to be a bit of a default for TCD this round.
Not really wanting to play into the hands of Maynooth with weak weaponry as Pandu. The shotgun gets revealed, and also as well, just early on, Pandu's eye actually getting a lot done in B main. Not being able to break it at TCD, but they will get that first pick onto Rosev, and now it's just going to be taking this from a default to a full A hit, as Benes and Zen have a lot of work to do here. Zen has the shotgun, and Benes has the Sheriff, but Piggy John has an Outlaw, and that's a one-shot. It's basically an operator. Now Zen still holding that Lamp's control with that shotgun, but it's going to get mollied down in the first half of Zen's health, and I mean, this round is basically done, and well, it is done now. Cammy goes down, there's not even a chance for TCD to, or Maynooth, sorry, to sneak onto site, maybe getting a pick up to Taverny, but it's actually going to be Piggy John and Taverny linking up once again, a 3k for the Viper, and a fairly standard anti-eco.
Yeah, very strong anti-eco. They only lost one gun and a bit of damage to armor, but they got the bomb down, like, very strong. It was nice and collected. So Sofa going down short and catching the chamber, who was trying to aggress for some space. So very nice defaults. They knew, like, it looked like they knew what they wanted to do and wanted to catch out. So they are being a lot more wary about this hookah, and we see that that pistol round has actually made TCD be a bit more wary of the hookah and the possibility of a double up as well. So another default coming in here, and we'll see how they play it this time with the double up on showers instead.
Yeah, Erasiv's actually going to fight for shower control early, and manages to get the kill to Sophie. Goes down to 33 HP though, but it's enough to try and stop the snowball of the economy that TCD currently have, as Piggy John moves himself into position with this outlaw, but not quick to the punch, and then gets that headshot, and TCD all of a sudden down to 3. As Maynooth really taking this aggressive stance on this round, as Pandu finds Katsu's, and a bit whiffy, but finds the kill to Verdi. And now Hearthian is just there to see what damage can be done.
Yeah, a bit of a slow default there, to be honest, and it looked like they were just taking individual fights. So it was well played from Maynooth here. They knew that they were taking individual fights. They doubled up on the showers and they took that early fight and got the kill onto Sofa, who's been so good on getting these early frags that have given them pretty much a free round. So very well played from Maynooth. They did that little... Oh, last fight here. Out of bullets from Hearthian. Gets shot in the back through the TP. But yeah, it was a nice change coming in from the Maynooth side. They knew that they like taking those slow default fights, so they just doubled up and took an aggro fight together. Very well played. And coming into this fight, we see that some ults are finally starting to come up. We have Sofa, who's just one orb off of his Yoru Dimensional Drift, and then Benas is one off of his Orbital Strike. So these are two very strong ults, and if TCD decide that they want to, if TCD decide that they want to get this Yoru ult, then that is a very good and surefire way to get onto site.
A nice change of pace there. Definitely catch a TCD off of guard, as is it going to be this full B hit now, trying to stop the little rot that they have, as Piggy John has managed to walk past Rosev?
Did he not notice? There's no way, right? Was he in the smoke?
No way! No way that's happened!
Oh my god!
Piggy
But he
John
doesn't know
gets
he's
the
behind
kill
him.
to Zen.
Wait, he's still not realized.
What is going
happening?
on? What is going on, Maynooth? What on earth is that? Piggy John somehow finds 2 and walks right by Rosev's face. Maybe even gives them a little smooch on the cheek as he goes past. As now TCD have somehow pulled this out of the bag. Cammy goes down as well. And it's going to be this big exec. What on earth is happening? Hearthian gets that kill to Pandu. And Benis is in no man's land.
I mean, what was that? That is an outrageous lurk play on the showers. He walks past the chamber, gets the raise on site, turns back around, and the chamber has still not noticed that there's someone in showers. I mean, the chamber must just not have his audio on if he allows that to happen. But really well played from Piggy John. He took his timing and he took it exceptionally well. Very well played. And even just the execute onto site was so nice. They still get the hookah player, they still get the site player, and don't lose a single player throughout that whole round. Very well played from TCD side.
Yeah, but what on earth is happening with Maynooth? I mean, yeah, you looked so good. You've done so much damage onto that economy of TCD, and then you've just completely thrown it away. I mean, 17 didn't even buy any shield, let alone a light or a heavy. And now they're on the hunt, trying to get Benis. I'm not sure if they'll be able to, but Benis just going to save this Phantom as TCD taking the lead again, and Benis manages to escape with their life, but no lives lost on the side of TCD. I mean, what on earth is that? I can't believe that just happened. I feel like I need to wash my eyes because, like, okay, even though with that first one, I could kind of understand it. But then the second onto Rosev is completely baffled me. I'm going to be real. It's baffled me. I'm gone.
I thought a timeout was gonna get called or a tech pause because of that. I thought maybe he DC'd, but no, he just allowed it to happen, and it looks like it's gonna be a strong B hit here with the Euro ult. So he's clearing out Hookah instantly because of that first threat as well, and he's gonna get all the information on site, both people known. So this is just gonna be a nice, easy retake, and Piggy John instantly finding Pandu as well. The Waylay dash onto back site. They know that the Viper is by herself, completely isolated, and they've already taken hall space as well. Oh my god, and the Viper ult also committed just to completely lock down all of CT.
TCD moving like they're being chased by demons and Maynooth. I mean, they had a change of pace earlier and TCD weren't expecting it, but now it's the other way around. Maynooth not expecting the change of pace from TCD, and they lose 2 in the process as the Viper's pit from Piggy John goes down. 8 and 3, the Viper's doing absolute bits. As I mean, if Maynooth even want a chance of trying to get back into this, it has to be Rosev, but instead, I mean, you can see on the minimap, players are just going to be shuffling away, just leaving that B site. Rosev's going to be playing for some exit frags, but the round's lost as Maynooth will go down by 2.
I mean, if you're TCD, that was the cleanest round you can get. And Harthian here is gonna start hunting for kills. If he gets 1 or even dies, it's not bad. He gets the orb. He's now 1 ult orb off of his big Waylay ult. That is absolutely massive and very clean take from the TCD side. Honestly, the Euro ult's getting all the info on site and just the insta refrags, and they get the 2 players from T side as well. Honestly, very clean round coming in from TCD. They did use 2 ults going into that, but they have 3 ults coming up, and they're all very strong ults as well. The Waylay, the Fade, and the Brim ults. Those are 3 very strong ults that they can take site. But you have to look at Maynooth side as well, although maybe a little mentally boomed because of that Showers play that came in 2 rounds ago. They do have 4 ults, and then the 5th one coming up as well. So if they can maneuver this, even though with their a bit of a half buy here, if they can maneuver this well with the ults, they might be able to change back the momentum towards their side.
Rose's going to be hobbing this total force very early on, trying to get this fight for B main sorted, but not going to be given anything as the rest of TCD are just going to position themselves in hookah. And Kami's going to try and hold the line with the Guardian. Just a bit of spam as this is a very broken buy for Maynooth. I mean, Zen only has that Sheriff, Kami has that Guardian. 2 Phantoms and supported by Bennis and Pandu as well. Bennis has lost 1, Piggy on that lurk. As Zen? No way, no way. Okay, calm down everyone. Katsu won't go down. There's only 1 bullet. The showstopper popped down, misses Piggy John at point blank. And TCD are just going to crumble Maynooth again. Rosev has an opportunity to find this pick, but isn't going to get anything from Harthian, but has a chance to maybe find another as Piggy John's just going to spam through the wall. 2 HP for Rosev. Surely they don't expect Rosev to still be here, but so just going to spam through the wall. And Maynooth take a 3rd in a row, and Maynooth just look a bit lost right now.
I mean, I think this is just a mental boom on the Maynooth side. Like, nothing is going in their favor. We see Rosev there just get full spammed by 6 bullets through a wall in the same angle and still get hard cleared. We see Zen go for the flank and miss that first shot that looked like it was on and whiff. And then on top of that, whiff his ult just to top it off. I mean, nothing's going right for them, it seems, and they really need to pick themselves back up here because they still have... Actually, they lost their ult advantage. They used 2 ults coming into that. They really need to just find some momentum somewhere.
Yeah, this is the point where individual players need to step up. I mean, this is so far looking like a vastly different side from what we saw in winter. That 3rd place team as Piggy John takes down Zen almost instantly. Is now the rest of TCD going to swarm onto site, right? So manages to find 1-1 and finds a 2nd and a 3rd through the smoke. And Piggy John's ping on that menace doesn't even matter anymore. And Rosev is frying, it isn't going to do anything on Rosev. Piggy John finds a 3rd and it's a 1 versus 1. As Pandu finds Katsu as well. And they know where each other are. Pandu not finding the shots onto Piggy John. Piggy John swings out! And it's a 4K for the Viper, and it got a bit scary for TCD there. But they're still able to pull out the round.
I mean, it was a nice try from Rosev there, but he did overheat a slight bit off of the fake info that the dog gave him because it was chasing a clone. So, although a nice round, you're just... they're falling deeper and deeper into this abyss right now. That is 4 rounds in a row that they've lost here, and you just can't. This is an absolute mental boom. They lost their anti-eco, and now they've lost 4 rounds in a row. Like, if you're Maynooth, you're just falling deeper and deeper. You need to find an aggressive play, find something that will give you some confidence.
Zed's going to be the one to try and make that happen, and Piggy John spots them. As the first shot's whiffed, and somehow Bennis is the one that goes down early on. Now they're just going to hit onto sight. Zen has to try and take this fight with Piggy John. The convergent pass hit Zen, and Piggy John with that shorty, making that look so good as Paddoom hero plane cut out quickly. We'll find Piggy John, but that's it. Is the rest of the TCD leave only Rosev, who can make big plays, we know, but has to make a huge one here. Does start off well, but has to find 3 more. With the Dimensional Drift and the Nightfall still in play, I mean, do you even go for this?
At this point, honestly, you're just going to ask for a hero play, and it looks like he is going to commit to it. Like, he does need to make the miracle happen, but it's possible. That trade angle, though, that crossfire that's being held on triple is just so disgusting. He can't even push aggressive on that. Oh, and it's too much. He just gets insta-swung by the waylay from Lamps and dies. It's too much of an ask for the chamber there. And now, TCD, that's a 5th round in a row. Their economy is looking absolutely amazing, and Maynooth have to go for another save here because they just don't have the money to fight for this. 4 ults on the TCD side. It looks like they can do anything and get away with it at this point because of how much they're just getting. They're doing whatever they want. They're running it down. They ran down the Lamps guy. They ran down the Smoke triple guy, and it's working for them. So at this point, you're just scrambling if you're on the Maynooth side.
Yeah, definitely so, as Rosev is going to try and take this aggressive play again, and we'll spot out Katsu. There's a bit of damage to the wall, but nothing much, as the Dimensional Drift's actually used towards this B site, just to scout out Zen and Bandu. Zen, who has brought a rifle, by the way. Bandu, jump scare alert, and Sofa somehow managed to get kill on the fade. Zen, late to the party, but gets the kill onto Sofa. But the rest of TCD are positioned on this A site, and the rotates are coming into this B site, but the problem is they've been caught with their pants down. Another Viper's pit for Piggy John, as Bennis only has this judge to try and make something work. But doesn't realise that Piggy John is just playing in that corner. And what a performance for the Vipers so far, 17 and 4. There's Cammy and Piggy John going to be playing Ring Around the Roses, but not wanting to try and push into that smoke, and understanding why. Piggy John swings out, finds Ed, finds a third on the Cammy. Rosev finds Katsu and is going to try and get something through the smoke, but realistically, there's nothing more that can be done, and Rosev knows it. They're just going to back away. Is TCD another round? 19 and 4 for Piggy John. What a performance so far.
I mean, yeah, he is just going in through those smokes, and he is an absolute menace in those smokes. He's going in, getting his one, and getting out, getting another through the smoke. He seems a bit unstoppable, and although it is a bit of a mechanics diff currently with Piggy John just going absolutely crazy, they're also just outplaying them on the macro level. They Yoru ult onto B site. He practically kamikazes on the guy's CT, gets the kill, and causes all the rotates, almost all the rotates from the Maynooth side. 3 people are rotated onto B site, and the Brim is left alone in Lamps with a judge. He's just completely cornered. So TCD, honestly, just like whatever they touch turns into gold. They are doing everything possible, and everything is just looking perfect. So Maynooth, once again, it's such a struggle right now for them.
Yeah, they keep trying to take these aggressive early fights, but it's not really working out from Zen. Blinded up, does get Sofa down to 30 HP, but Piggy John goes and throws them, and Sofa quick to the bunch onto Zen, as now it's only Cammy to hold this point. Has his Viper's Pit ready, and is actually going to use it now, but the problem is, Cammy's in the middle of a... Cammy uses it, dies instantly to the bunny because of that orbital strike. Really well played from TCD there. Bennis finds Piggy John though. And there's some... I mean, there's a toe in the door, not even a foot in the door at this point. Katsu gets marked by that seize, but the Nightfall is going to find... not actually going to find anyone. I thought it might have found Bennis, but no, it's going to be hard to find Bennis. Said actually, it did find Pandu, and well, yeah, good luck to Pandu as his teammate. As TCD go up to 9, and I mean, this has been domination so far on Bide.
Yeah, this is looking so rough, and it looks like Maynooth are making the right decisions. I mean, Rosev walks up on Hookah, gets a clear angle on the player, on Waylay running up long, whiffs it, and just gets insta-traded by Piggy John. They're just looking amazing, honestly. The TCD as a whole team are looking amazing, but of course, you just can't not point out 20-5 Piggy John. This man is going absolutely crazy. He's going above and beyond to get these rounds. Maynooth needs someone to step up here.
Yeah, definitely so. As the last round and a half, Tour de Force will be used again by Rosev, but it's still a bit of a shambolic buy. I mean, Bucky's Guardians for Maynooth, and this is their map pick as well. This is a map that they thought they'd be strong on, but it's proving to be quite the contrary. As Kirby just going to spam through into Hookah, trying to find something but finding nothing. As 4 players, well, were positioned up on towards the B site, except for Piggy John, who's found another luck kill. And I mean, the Irish Nats, I mean, can you even blame me for saying that? As Piggy John finds a second, Rosev stood in that molly, has to leave and allow TCD the space onto site. As, I mean, we talked in the pre-show about Maynooth's last result against Ulster's, that 2-0 defeat, and we said, well, maybe this is Ulster looking a lot better, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's Maynooth just looking a lot worse, dare I say it, as Rosev manages to find 1 kill. They have to go into this. I mean, it's the final round and a half, but Rosev only has this operator, or this, I suppose, operator in 10, 4 and 10, not doing the best so far, as they've got to rush in, although 1 warp away from this showstopper, and the show has been stopped by Sofa, who gets them both. As we end this first half 10-2 in favour of TCD. What a half.
That's just not how you want your map to be going at all. This is the worst case scenario, and if they really want to pick it up here, they need this pistol round, and it is so vital that they do not lose the anti-eco if they win the pistol. Such a strong start with the nice 3k from Pandu, and from then it's just been downhill. How many rounds is that in a row? That's 8 rounds that they won in a row, TCD. Like, this is the worst possible start that you could get on your map pick. They might be able to pick it up if they win this pistol round and the anti-eco, but it's just so rough, honestly. And Piggy John is he's just walking everywhere and getting kills, and he's getting away with it. This is not what you want at all, coming in on the Maynooth side.
And it looks like it's going to be aggression coming from Maynooth towards this A site, but it's been read perfectly by TCD, who are fighting for that Shower's Orb, and will get it as Sofa tries to get that fired. Loses out to Cammy, and Rosev finds another, but Tavernier and Pig John are on the case. Zen's pushed up into Lance and found Katsu as a 3 versus 2 now. As Benner spam through his smoke, finds Piggy John, is just going to use rotate onto B side, but Zen caught out late, and still, I mean, Tavernier not been the brightest part of this game, I think it's fair to say so far, but can definitely make something happen, as Pandu's going to hear all of these footsteps from Tavernier. I don't think Tavernier's aware that someone could be in Hookah. The dog missed, and so it has to push on to this site 1 versus 2, and Maynooth are just going to set up this crossfire. Actually, well, they were setting up, I think, for half a second, and then Pandu decided to turn back around into Hookah, but I mean, only 42 HP. There's so much to do for Tavernier, and it's going to look the wrong way just at the wrong time, as a much-needed pistol round from Maynooth gets them back on the board.
This is a good start to the attack half, and they need to keep it up. Last half, they lost the anti-eco, so this is such an important round. And if you lose another anti-eco, like, that's just going to be so unsettling for your team. You're going to be completely mentally boomed. So, very good round. They decided to TP on that 3v2, very nice decision. And once again, it just seems like it's going to be a bit of a slow play. Unless, actually, never mind. It looks like it's going to be a fast B hit with a 3 on Hookah. And that might be the right play here, because it's 2 people only.
Yeah, but look at Sofa spamming with that share of space, trying to bait for Piggy John, and does so beautifully. Rosev goes down. Pandu, what a shot, but Piggy John just runs out of ammo. Camo has this Vandal still, although loses it to Sofa. Camo gets back though. Harthier, what a shot with the bandit. And all of a sudden, things are going from bad to worse for Maynooth. Harthier goes low, but Cami surrounded on all sides. And a ship in waiting just to be sunk. That's what it feels like watching Maynooth right now, as Katsu spots out the Viper, and it's Harthier with a second with the bandit. Cami gets 3, but still not enough, because that Vandal's going to be recycled to TCD.
That was a nice TP play coming from the TCD side. They send a Yoru through the TP with his clone. Clone flashes everyone. He swings, backs out with the TP, and they don't expect Piggy John to be swinging on that aggressive angle. Hookah getting one, and then he gets the second while blinded as well. Just like, this guy is outrageously good. He's getting every single pick that his team asks him to get, and that's another anti-eco loss. Like, this is just not good at all for the Maynooth.
Yeah, Maynooth really struggling, really having to come back into it. I mean, this is shades of the first half where Maynooth win that first pistol, but then just lose that anti-eco shortly after, and it's going to be this default now. I mean, they're going to have to try and make something work, but they're also going to have to close that gap, especially with two classics against Vandals, Phantoms, and an Outlaw. I mean, they have to try something, and that's not a good start. Zen goes down to Sofa. Pandu equalizes it out, but with only 34 HP, I mean, nothing much that they can really do unless they want to hit some nutty shots, which hasn't been the case so far. Cammy gonna swing out into Harthian, and yep, that's what Outlaw does. And Maynooth just look to be in shambles. There's gonna be a group up towards B, and where, I mean, it's been red right. There's only one player towards this B side, but the problem is it's this Viper that is acting as the Sentinel for TCD, and there's some hesitation from Maynooth now just to try and scout out where Piggy John is, and yep, that's where the Piggy John is, in that elbow as Pandu gets there, cleanly taken off. And with only 30 seconds remaining, they're going to be hitting this B site, and I mean, Piggy John gets away for free. There's no real pressure coming onto that Viper until that shot and takes Piggy John down to half, but it doesn't matter, it's Piggy John. I mean, of course, this guy just hit 90 shots, 10 seconds remaining, it's only Rosev, and Piggy John goes for a third, and Katsu just takes down Piggy John with a volley, but it doesn't matter. TCD are on that point.
It's just such a strong showing from the TCD side. Like, obviously, they are shooting better, but it seems like they have better ideas as well, and a better grasp of what they should be doing on this map. We didn't really see much plays coming in from the wall on this attack side on Maynooth. They're not really working with the util that they have, and they're just kind of trying to take fights all over the map. It's not at all what we saw from TCD, who were working the map a lot more in a more methodical manner. So it's a map point, and it's not looking good so far.
Look at this, they're just playing aggressive, taking that shower up and leaving for free. I mean, there's no one even watching it, and then they're defaulting as Piggy John gets spotted out by that Fade Dog, but just gonna re-aggress with Harthian, control that B site, and I mean, Maynooth have no control anywhere. The only bit of control comes from Cubby. They've lost all of that control B, they've not got any control showers, and pushing into site is gonna be hell on earth, but that's a start. Zen manages to find that pick onto Sofa, and it's something. Rosev taken down to HP, but still gets that kill to Verdi. And finally, Maynooth started to come back as Cammy fires that kill onto Katsu. Rosev is going to be facing against Thanos Piggy John, and all of a sudden, hold on a minute, Harthian comes out as in that smoke. Hello, Bennis, how are you? Takes down Bennis, and all of a sudden, this is winnable. Piggy John has that pit as well, but has to get at least one of these players. One of Cammy and Pandu, preferably Pandu, but they're just going to play away, let them play safe, let Piggy John make the mistakes as time is ticking down. Piggy John could just go for this Viper's Pit, honestly, but I don't think they're going to. As time is going to run out, and Cammy only needs one shot. And for the first time in a long while, Maynooth play that map well, or play that round well, I should say.
I mean, it's a little sign of life from Maynooth, honestly. They played it nicely. They took those swings on showers, and even when they died two people in showers to Piggy John, it was not a bad swing. They played it nicely, and they were going to trade each other. It's just Piggy John and Thanos currently. This is kind of what you would have wanted to see earlier when they weren't down so much, but it's still doable if they keep playing the rounds like this, and if TCD keep making the mistakes that they made that last round with those swings on showers.
Yeah, Piggy John is Thanos and Sofa. Gonna try and play aggressive. Bennis takes them down, but Katsu gets the trade as Rosev and Bennis, well, finding kills anyway. As now, I mean, this A site has been completely blown open by Maynooth. As finally, there looks to be some fight coming back, but once again, it's Piggy John and Harthian sat there ready and waiting. to play this retake, and that Viper's Pit's still up. I mean, you only need to get a few kills for it to become viable. Handu going down early, it's not good for Maynooth at all, but Rosev's playing so far back, and they have this orbital strike from Bennis. Well, the problem is Bennis is on site. Parthian tries to get that pick, doesn't. Pokemon finds Zen though. This is dangerous. Shorty not doing enough damage. And Rosev coming in clutch when needed, but again, much closer than Maynooth would have expected, but it's another round win.
Big John and Harthian are just coming in on these retakes where it's 2v5 or 2v4, and they're making it look so close. I mean, TCD is just still looking dominant, but they're starting to make more mistakes. It seems like they're getting a little more arrogant in their plays, especially these A players. And now it looks like it's going to be a 4 stack towards A, maybe? No, never mind. They're going back to just a normal 2B, 2A, or 3A. And a little default coming in from Maynooth, maybe. They're starting to deviate from the rounds that they've won of just going A.
This is interesting, Rosev deciding to use that tour de force. I think mainly as an economic decision rather than anything else, as Bennis is going to find 2 anyway. As B-site's been blown completely to smithereens, Diverny trying to make play in showers, won't do so, as Harthian with this bandit gets shut down by Zen, and the fall is prevented by Katsu, who picks up that rifle, but realistically doesn't have much more to do. We'll take that TP, maybe try and catch Rosev off guard, but Rosev quick to the draw as Maynooth win their 3rd round in a row.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see on the anti-eco rounds. You want to see a nice clean-cut round where the guns are just so overwhelmingly strong against pistols that it just seems like the other team can't do anything. And coming into this round, TCD do have an ult advantage, so this is their round to take. Their eco is staked on this, they forced an up, and they have 3 very strong ults that they can be aggro on one side and then more defensive on another. So very hard round for Maynooth going into this. They are down on ults, but it's still the momentum in their favor here. If they can keep this going, this is going to be the most important round that they win.
Yeah, definitely so. But Sofa has this operator who's going to be pushing out showers. This is a very aggressive push. And Bennis is holding, but I don't think that anyone from Maynooth really expects this operator. And well, if they don't expect the operator, then they definitely don't expect the Verdi. But the footsteps from Sofa were heard, as the rest of Maynooth are going to be swinging out into this, it seems. But Diverny will go down early. Bennis, what a shot! And I don't know how they didn't die to the operator. I think Sofa might have shot through that box, but Bennis taking the head of Sofa clean off. As now, this is a fairly easy hit onto the safe site, but Katsu's still here lurking. This could be dangerous as ever still. Maynooth can't afford to let their guard down just yet, but Camby has this Viper's Pit ready and will place it! Oh my god. Katsu gets Bennis, but I mean, this was almost another catastrophe of a round, and Camby comes down. The Viper's Pit is down, and now Picking puts theirs up, and suddenly this has flipped from being really good to Maynooth to really bad. Hardian has now shown their hand. The conversion pass hits 2, and that was just going to be sprinting on from Katsu and Harthian. And that was only Rosev remaining. Gets Harthian, and now has to get a second, and Katsu spotted out, but running with this classic. And a clutch from Rosev just about confirms that round, but again, that was almost a disaster class from Maynooth.
Very important round win from Maynooth there. Honestly, even though they made it close, they did drag 3 ults out of the TCD side here. And the eco, once again, just not looking very strong at all. I think they're going to go for a half buy here, so very costly round, and it's slowly looking more and more doable. That is their 4th round in a row, and it's, although still a bit of a gap in the score of 5, it's still very doable now that they've started crippling that economy on the TCD side more and more. So Maynooth are starting to gain the momentum here.
Yeah, TCD forced on Twitter the low buy. Is Pigeon scouted out? Won't be scouted out by the eye, but will be scouted out by that Prowler. Is 4 people on A, or if I'm not sure you really want to do this. Is show the hands from both sides. As now Zen is going to be clearing space towards Hookah, and it's only Pigeon on this site. And if they want to go quick, then they can afford to. But Bennis, they're just going to be holding his teleport, really not wanting to make that first move yet. Is the rest of TCD just going to be steady in their positioning. Cammy, I think, getting a few shots into Hearthy in there, so a bit of damage done. But the rest of Maynooth towards this B site is, yep, here we go. Showstopper used as well. This is an interesting use of the Showstopper, but one nonetheless, and yep, will be complete miss. And there's no util to actually clear Piggy John out of elbow, especially not for the Rays. But there's the confirmation. That's all they need. The Fade Eye is then fairly standard shot, headshot with the Vandal. Is now the rest of TCD gotta retake this, and it's looking to be dangerous. Harthian firing a few shots will try and catch them by surprise, but then steady as they come. It's a 3k for that raise. Rosa takes away any opportunity of the ace, but it's a flawless for the attack side. And finally, Maynooth are starting to roll with the punches.
And Maynooth seem like they have a fairly strong idea of what they should be doing now. They are playing the round slow and waiting for TCD to just make the mistakes. And TCD playing for the retake on B side by leaving Piggy John alone, almost always in 4-stacking that A, because they've recognized that their A hold is just not that strong. And if they leave Thanos alone, then maybe he might be able to do something, just create some miracle by himself. I mean, he is 33 and 14, so that's insane. Another op force from Sofa, so surely this time he might be able to take an aggressive angle and actually get the kill off of it. And we'll see how this plays out. Once again, it's just TCD's eco is completely crippled if they lose this round. And they do have 2 ults up for this, so it can be a bit of a contested round.
Look at this, Maynooth expecting some aggression from TCD, and so just playing so far back, again, not wanting to poke that bear, especially when Sova has that operator. Then it's a really good choice, as Zen's going to be the sacrificial lamb, it feels. There's going to be some checks into Hookah and to Main, as Piggy John will be scouted out, and that Ray's bot finds nothing. But Harthian is here, and he'll miss that shot as Saturate lands, but there's no follow-up onto the Rays, as it's only now that the rest of Maynooth really starting to make any moves. As Harthian pushes up, he gets that kill there, and it's a good start for TCD, and even better one is Sofa Pidgeon finding kills.
Down.
The spike is down, Pidgeon just walked up, B main, takes down the spike as Cammy goes down, Dimensional Drift used, and Bennis has to waste within 30 seconds to keep Maynooth in this map. But Bennis has been scouted out, now the Nightfall's here, trying to do everything, finds one, Sofa TP's away, and it's just a complete surrounding of Bennis. As Maynooth put up a fight towards the end, but it's too little too late. This TCD take Maynooth's map bigger mind.
I mean, it was just a complete steamroll at the start, but they did pick it up towards the end. Maynooth actually started to show a bit of life towards the end. I think that was 5 rounds in a row that they got, or maybe even 6. So it's not a complete rollover, but they warmed up too late into the round. They had no room for error in those later rounds just because of how much they gave up at the start of that map. And once, like, you just can't not mention that Piggy John, 35 and 14. That is incredible. Insane stat line. And what are you supposed to do in that situation? A map is just completely cut off. A side of the map is completely cut off. They just can't go B because you would go there and just die. Like, what are you meant to do in that situation?
Yeah, nearly a 500 ACS. I mean, incredible performance by Biggie John. But we do have some more Valorant coming your way. Map 2 of TCD Maynooth is coming up next after this break. So get a snack, get some Red Bull, and we'll be back shortly. And welcome back to IECS Valorant, where if you've just missed map 1 between Maynooth and TCD, I mean, it was an 8-13 in favour of TCD, but it's not what it looks like. I mean, that felt like a stomping for Maynooth throughout most of that. For TCD, I should say, Maynooth getting stomped on for most of that, making a late comeback of sorts, but not really anything to deter Maynooth from pressing on and getting that map win, which was for TCD getting that map win, I should say, as Maynooth on their map pick just didn't look on it.
I mean, like, That was just a strong showing from TCD. They came into the map so strong. They lost both pistols but won the anti-ecos. I mean, if that's not demoralizing, then I don't know what is. You really can't ask for a better start than winning a pistol, but then losing the anti-eco afterwards is always just going to demoralize you and your team. And they just carried out that through. I think they won 8 rounds in a row after they lost one more round on that attack side. And although they did lose some rounds on that defense side, it just seemed like they were playing around with their food. They started pushing up aggressive on every angle, and when they locked in, I think they only lost one more round, and then they just played it safe, played it slower, and they just closed it out. So really, you can't ask for a better start from TCD on the other team's map pick.
Yeah, definitely so. But a big kick up the backside is needed for Maynooth as they didn't look that great on that pick of bind. And I mean, you can't fault TCD for them playing well, but as well, it was a struggle for Maynooth ever since round 5. It was really demoralising to watch, and if you're a Maynooth fan, then it was difficult to watch, especially considering that they've won 100% of pistols, but then also lost 100% of the anti-kill rounds immediately after. So definitely some improvements to be made there, but we will be heading into split in about half a second, really. But Horatius, I want to ask you, what do you think will happen in this next map?
I mean, look, they did get stomped a bit on bind, but towards the end, they did show some signs of life, and it looked like they're starting to pick it up. So hopefully, let's hope they can carry that out into split, and although not their map pick, they can keep up the nice and slow playstyle that was getting them those nice early frags, and carry those over and just convert rounds, because we don't really want to stomp, and it looks like Maynooth don't want to stomp either. It looks like they're going to start fighting back. So if they can carry that over, it would be brilliant, but you just can't not expect Piggy John to come in and drop 30. He absolutely amazing. He was getting those smoke plays, some outrageous lurk timings he was getting, and it looked easy for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he came in and just decided to dominate once again.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we are just having one or two tech issues, so we're not going to be throwing it to a break just yet, but we will be getting into game shortly. But I mean, we've mentioned it so many times in this bit of the show where, you know, Maynooth haven't looked that good. Sure, TCD do look very good, and Piggy John going absolutely insane definitely helps TCD. But on this map, I mean, we've been thinking about map 3, but do we really think it's going to be a map 3?
Look, it's looking a bit bleak. And I would love to see a map 3, but I personally don't think we're going to get there. Like, just based off of how TCD were playing, they looked like they were doing better on the macro level, and then they just had the star shooter of Piggy John. If we do get a map 3, then we're going to need to see some strong play coming in from the Maynooth side, and we're going to need to see them pick it up like they were towards the latter half of their attack. But like once again, it's just TCD is looking so strong and they're looking so comfortable in their element, and this is their map pick coming in now. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just another strong showing from the TCD.
Yeah, definitely so. But we will be heading into our second map of split as TCD have that lead. The Maynooth need to work very hard, get their heads down to try and equalise it. And we will be seeing some of these early selections. And for TCD on the attack side, fairly standard composition. And I mean, Maynooth is halving that Raider because, of course, when it's all seems down, go Raider.
Unapologetic
Why
all
not?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, this is reminding me the slightest bit of last week's game of TDUD in Setu, where Kai just locked in the arena and just turned into Thanos. He just got every kill that he wanted. But obviously, we're not going to see that here. I don't think Zen has the confidence to lock it in after the showing of last map. And we're seeing all of TCD's side here, and it's looking fairly standard. Pretty much the same thing exactly, except for a Omen instead of a Brim from last map. So it looks like this is their comfort map, this comfort comp, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing pretty much the exact same plays and exact same kills coming in from their side. Hopefully some new inventive plays on the splits, as it is a bit of a straightforward map and it can be a bit boring, but you never know.
Yeah, and while one side looks very conventional, the other side, I mean, look at these agent hovers, Arena, Deadlock, Breach, Neon. Surely this isn't gonna. Oh, no way they lock this, surely. Okay, we're not gonna get
Oh,
the. Oh my god, we're gonna get the Raider as well. With the Deadlock, first Deadlock we're seeing in ICS Spring, and uh, where do
we
you even
see
begin
Neon.
with this?
I feel
I
like
think,
Neon is also a bit unconventional here.
yeah, definitely not something that you immediately think of with a map like Split. Not traditionally,
Yes.
anyway, but definitely an out there team comp. But honestly, at this point, why not go for it?
And look, Rosev was the one saving grace from what I saw on the Maynooth side. So it's not surprising that they picked their player who was just performing the strongest on that bind and said, hey, you, go Reyna and shoot them. And look, it's not surprising. He was hitting some nasty clips and he was almost bringing them back into those rounds that seem almost hopeless. But it's such a strange comp coming into this on the defense side, especially. Like, you don't really see the deadlock too often in any map, much less Split. So I'm interested to see how their mid holds are gonna go, how they're gonna react to the defaults, and just also their retakes in general. So we're gonna see a bit of a strong mid presence at the start from TCD.
Yeah, definitely so. TCD wanting to exploit some space mid, as Benes will be the first one to take that contact. And the rest of TCD just going to hold up here. But then on that breach, an agent that isn't really getting much screen time at all in any tiers of professional Valorant. Just not being what he used to be. Is Piggy John taking that gunfight early on with Pandu? You know, when you look at this team comp from Maynooth, you can even see like these role changes as well. Pandu going onto this, oh, with Benes, who was on that Brim last map, going onto this Neon, and it's going to be interesting to see how they compute as it will be an early pick in favour of Maynooth, and well, this is aggressive from Cammy, and doesn't expect 3 players to be there as Rosev forced to go back, and meanwhile, Harthy is going to go forward, and Benes will have to use that refract away from Benes, but ultimately, TCD have managed to get onto site.
I mean, it was a nice mid slow here, and they're finally retaking Heaven here. Are they going to expect the waylay down mid late, though? That's a big flash onto the Rafters players. Have to TP out, and the Fade is caught. Is she going to be seen? Oh, the retake is just so nice here.
Yeah, now it's
Really
only
last
Harthian.
I mean, it's
And Harthian's just caught out.
just a beautiful retake from the side of Maynooth here, and they're carrying on the example of just always taking the pistol rounds. Now they just need to make sure that they confirm the anti-eco. Very nice retake there. The flash gets both the Raptors player having to TP out and the player underneath him as well. Just completely isolated, and the Waylay doesn't have time to actually do anything because his team is cut out so fast. Even though the Yoru finally gets the TP out into main, he can't even do anything off of it. He has to reswing instantly to try help his Fade and dies. So really nice retake from the defense side. And once again, just don't lose the anti-eco. This is so important for momentum in the game. If you lose an anti-eco, it's so demoralizing for your team. And it's looking like a bit of a default again with less mid presence than the pistol round.
Definitely so, Benes getting that kill as well. Good boy on that Neon. There's going to be aggression towards a maid. Rosev going to be one finding that first kill to Biggie John, who seems to have calmed down a bit. Red Bull spike has finished, but what a shot that is from Harthian. Barely even saw Cammy, and that's an equalizer, and that's the B site completely blown off its hinges for Maynooth, and now TCD are going to have an easy time on this B site, but Pandu finds that way, but Sofa trades out Rosev, but doesn't expect Benes there either. Is now, I mean, Maynooth think like they're just scrambling for kills this 3 versus 3, and TCD, calm, composed, going to be pushing into CT, and 3 players from Maynooth are going to be in rafters. This could be huge, as now this is going to be a split and the surrounding from everyone. The Sofa tries to spam through the smoke. Zen finds Sofa, and Taverni takes one down, but Zen takes down the Fade and finds a 3k for the breach. And Maynooth finally convert their first anti-eco.
They broke the curse, thank God, and I was getting very stressed when that Waylay got the kill on the B anchor. That was a very big kill, and even the late kill on mid as well. but it just seems that the overwhelming guns were on the side of Maynooth, and they were able to nicely convert that that anti-eco. But the bonus is going to be a bit weak here because they did lose 3 guns here. They only managed to carry over the Spectre and the Bulldog. And at one point here, do you want to stop with the defaulting and see if a sight hit works? I know that it was just the pistol and anti-eco, but it just doesn't seem like they're getting enough value from this mid space, and they're not actually converting anything off of it.
Well, now we can look to try and go from an anti-eco into a bonus, as the stronger weapons are now in TCD's hands. These rifles and what have you. There will be a few shotguns, and Neon with this judge is just going to play very aggressive. The little gap in the smoke means Bennis was seen but not shot at, as Bennis, well, that's aggressive. Even on that half peak, as stun only hits Arthian, and 3 players from TCD still remain in mid, and they're getting this control slowly but surely, but they're being delayed a lot by Maynooth here, as some shots traded out between Zen and Piggy John. There's now the go switch is being hit as Piggy John finds Pandu, but Zen trades back onto the Waylay, and that Rolling Thunder ready, but that has missed this timing of the Piggy John, and Piggy John has heard the ropes go. There's a second for the Viper in the round, as Rosev hasn't actually been spotted just yet. We'll have the timing on Katsu, and Sofa's shots are going to whiff, missing Rosev and throwing that Vandal away. No hope of Maynooth getting that, as 3 versus 2, and one more pick. You think maybe Maynooth have a chance of getting this back, but Taverny not being expected in main still. Now Bennett has been scouted out, has this Vandal, and has nothing really to lose, as Piggy John makes it 3 for the round, and a bonus conversion maybe a bit too much for Maynooth so far.
I mean, these slow default rounds that TCD are running just kind of seem like a, let's make some noise mid, and Piggy John will go walk up somewhere and get kills on the extremities. And look, it worked. He got his 3 on that round. He walked up on the ramps, got 1, got 2, and the round was pretty much over at that point because site control was almost guaranteed with how much presence they had on that heaven. So these defaults, although not looking the best, it seems like they do have a clear plan in mind, which is to try get some attention off of Piggy John so he can get some space and maybe some frags as well.
Yeah, definitely so. It looks like to be again this, well, it looked to be a default, they're trying to sell it, but meanwhile 4 players are going to be settled in this garage, and it's only Cammy here. This is a really interesting hold from Maynooth, not really wanting to fight out as Harvey just takes such an aggressive stance. Cammy spotted out, hit by that Sentry as well, but still finds 1 and sword Sofa, but Taverny's going to not only equalise, put Maynooth at a disadvantage, especially with Piggy John finding that kill as well. And now it's only Bennis. Well, Bennis now goes down to Piggy John, who's on that lurk in mid. Now it's just Zen with this Vandal. Has to do so much and has to watch out for Piggy John and for Harthian. Finds Piggy John, finds Harthian on the turnaround, and hold on a minute. This could be dangerous, but Taverny manages to stay clinical with a 3k this round, but that almost sent out of TCD's hands.
I mean, a pretty clean-cut round from TCD here, although 2 of them do get stunned on main, and the Deadlock is almost able to convert 3 possibly from that. He only gets the 1 and gets traded out instantly. Very nice round, a nice late lurk from mid. And looking at this next round now, Maynooth have to do a light buy here, and on top of that are down on ultimates. So if TCD just manage to save their ultimates and don't use any of them and still convert the round, then the next round it's looking very good for them coming in.
Yeah, definitely so, as Rosev, they're going to be pushing up aggressively, forcing Piggy John away, and this aggression on this take, but with only one Phantom, this is dangerous to have Rosev here, and you're going to have to hope that Zen's the one that goes down first if Piggy John is able to fire off some shots, but meanwhile the rest of TCD going to be in mid, just play their cards slowly, as per usual, and the problem is Zen doesn't even need Rosev to come in and be involved, because it's a free gun given to Zen. Is now Sofa spotting out this Neon, and Bennis is just going to run away, and this honestly the right pick, but Sofa hot pursuit as Cammy now only with a classic tries to do anything against Yo and won't do so as Pandu trying to close his gap onto Taverny, but classic against the Vandal. I mean, who do you think's going to win, especially when that sees hits?
Rosef has the timing though on the flank. Oh.
Yeah, but it's not one that they can exploit as Katsu and Sofa and Verdi all linking up to find kills, and it's only Bennis with this Bucky now. I think it is close, could be worth a kill for Bennis, but no, the timing is just all wrong for the Neon. And only with this Bucky, nothing really to lose, but now with only 14 HP, nothing much that Bennis can really do. There's just going to be a slight retreat, possibly even die to Spike. As time ticks away, and the round is lost for Maynooth as TCD put a lead onto the board for the first time this map.
Yeah. Once again, very clean cut round. Maybe the one problem was that Piggy John did get picked off, but as soon as Piggy John lost his space on A by dying, TCG just sped up completely and took that mid space with the Euro ult and then converted kills off of that. So it was a nice change of pace once they noticed that they've lost all that space on the A side of the map. Very well played from TCD. That's a very nice call coming in from them. And looking into this next round, we do have an ult advantage coming in for the Maynooth side. So this is the round that they want to convert. They want to stop this lead from growing and growing, because this is what happened last map. They just lost control, and the 1 win streak, the 2 win streak, the 3 win streak just turned into 8 in the blink of an eye. So they really need to start and cut this off somehow now if they can.
Yeah, definitely on this fight round. Lots going to have to be done, and lots going to have to be done by Zen here, but well, that's a hell of a shot onto Diverny, as Sofa's going to fake clone all the way into heaven. And, I mean, it's gotten past one, hasn't gotten past the second layer, as Bennis finds that headshot into the Yoru, and now Maynooth is seemingly stabilizing. TCD looking for answers, and Piggy's run might be the question that Maynooth are going to have to solve, as Zen peeking out, just not able to find the shots, either of them. Piggy John's forced away. Harthin gets that stun onto Pandu, and Katsu finds one in return, but the problem is you've still got to go into the Empress, you've still got to go into this Rolling Thunder. And even though that Viper's Pit is online, there's still a very dangerous combination of ults that TCD somehow have to dismantle.
Yeah, it seems so hard to break into this round. That was a nice kill on the ramps here, but you've got an anchor on B with the deadlock and 3 towards the A site. They have so much confidence on this deadlock, and Piggy Johnny is just working through the smoke here. Is he gonna get the catch out on the deadlock, and the whip coming in from Cammy? That's a massive kill. The Viper ult's put down as well, and the Omen TP instantly. They're gonna get that bomb down, and this is looking like a complete turnaround on this round. Although they were locked out of the site, Piggy John just walks in and gets that frag. This is looking very good for TCD.
And it looks even better now that Bennis has gone down, and Rosev does have perhaps a slight timing on Piggy John, but problem is Piggy John's in that smoke. I mean, Rosev, you can spam through that if you like to, but Piggy John is just going to be there holding the shorty, as then is starting to realise that the time is limited, and Hartley is going to be the one to put the breach out of the misery. And it feels like it's going to be the same goes as it was on map 1, and Maynooth have to try their hardest not to let it happen again.
I mean, it's just, I don't know why Maynooth is holding on to their ults here. They had the breach ult there to retake the site if they really wanted to, but they just took individual fights all over. Once that deadlock goes down, that site is completely lost. You just take the retake with the breach ult, especially into a Viper pit. But no, they just decided, let's go swing one by one, and it clearly didn't work out here. TCD making something out of nothing there from what it seemed, down 2 people, and they still picked up the round. And it's looking like a slow A hit here, with John maybe trying to get a pick on the mid player, the breach. So we'll see how this works.
Yeah, Zen does have that Vandal race over that Phantom, but apart from that, the weaponry is really light for Maynooth in this round, as even, I mean, you have the ult advantage here. Surely if one player from TCD goes down, you can start using some of these ults. I mean, Zen's had this Rolling Thunder for a while now, and I think that was also a problem for Maynooth, sorry, in that first map, as Nightfall was used just to clear sight. I don't think anyone was actually hit by that. I don't think Rosev was either, but that Empress will be popped in screens, as it's going to be a full retake towards this A site, and Cammy's been scared away from mid by P. John. As Katsu, the smoke fades at just the wrong time, as Rosev makes their presence known, as now this Rolling Thunder's used. Paddy goes down, and Harthian finds Bennis, but Rosev finds a second. but now has to deal with 2 players coming from main and won't be able to do it with any of them. Taverny goes Zen as well, and it's only Cammy remaining. And in a 1 versus 3, I mean, if you get 1 kill, you might be able to use this annihilation. But there's no hope as Piggy John gets that shot. Maybe finds one, but the time is not on Cammy's side. And finds that kill on Soph as well. He's going to try and give this a go. Maybe? No time. There's only 1 more shot left. Taverny's going to put Cammy out for the mystery. But still a costly round for TCD though.
Yeah, what is that? 2 ults used and 2, well, 1 less important ult, but the Breach Rolling Thunder is so important. And their retake is just not looking connected at all. They don't look like they know what angles they should be holding properly, and the swing out on that Rolling Thunder from both main and elbow, catching everyone off guard. So really well played from TCD again. It looks like they have clear plans coming into this round, and they're just acting on them so well. This is 5th round in a row. This is not looking good at all for Maynooth. If I'm a Maynooth player, I'd be very worried that this is just a repeat from Bind. So at this point, they really do need to just start gaining some confidence.
That's not the way to do it, as Royce throws that blind out, but gets tagged up by 3 members. Sarth's just going to run and gun mid and finds that shot onto Zen. Gets them down a bit lower than they were, as Bennis actually pushed up all the way into the garage. And Piggy John expects this, and the reaction times aren't there for Bennis, as Piggy John with that operator just holding it is now Harthy. The presence is known towards lifts, but I mean, Maynooth can't really do anything about it, as even though they have similar guns, the health advantage for Maynooth is a lot worse, considering most of Zen don't even have shields. They couldn't afford them. And now it's just a question of, if you're Maynooth, where do you even go from this? Is Zen's going to try and make a bit of a play? Actually, spots out, I think he spotted out all 3 mid, but they've spotted out Zen as well. And the breach goes down, makes the raid as well. And I think the round's basically done from this point on.
I mean, it's just looking so clear-cut for TCD. They get that early frag from Piggy John in aim and B main, and then they cut noise and just wait for a mistake. And the Breach makes that mistake. Zen goes for a swing to try get some info because they have no info gathering, and gets caught out for that. So TCD just looking so sure for, and it's looking like just another save for the Maynooth side. Like, what are you supposed to do into a 2v5 retake when the bomb has already been planted? And looking at the ults again, they came into this round with an ult advantage, and they weren't able to convert anything off of it. It's looking so rough for the Maynooth side, and it's just snowballing over time. It's looking like a repeat from the Bind, as I've already said. This is not what you want to see at all coming in for one of your maps.
Okay, he does find one towards the end as Sofa tries to get a bit of interest, and will only be taken down to low HP, as the rest of TCD are going to go hunting for these kills, and Harthian gets Cammy down but won't get the second. As one of those guns is taken away. I mean, that was crucial, you feel like. And as well, another thing as well, Cammy not been on hot form today, but has had that deadlock ult for a long while, to say the least, and has not had, I mean, hasn't really had any opportunities to use it. And so now it's the question of, like, well, what do you really do in this position? We've had this annihilation for far too long. But it is going to be this 5-player hit towards A, it seems. Not even going to be a lurk there. As now the convergent path's used on site. It isn't going to hit anyone. And now there's Bennis. Judge doesn't even find anything. Zen goes down, and finally this annihilation is used on. It finds Taverny, but the problem is the Fade's going to get released instantly. Actually, no, it doesn't. Actually, no, I think they do. But Cammy just has to steal. Where has Pandu come from? Finding 2, equalising the numbers. I don't think they actually saw Harthian in that corner there, but Cammy does. And I don't know how they've managed to turn this, considering TCD got 3 quick fire kills there, but they've somehow turned it around.
Yeah, they had a crossfire from sight and heaven. Off of that ult that was being focused on shot down, he swung out, got the kill on the person who just got released, went back, and then the Omen swung and got 2 from sight because they were focused on the heaven angle. So very well played from both of them, but Omen is still in this round. It is a very doable round. It's a 1v2. He's going for the bomb. Is he going to get caught by the timing? No. He actually gets a good timing into elbow here. They're going to expect him out already. Oh,
Didn't
he...
realize, but Katsu was still looking in the corner and making sure that no one was there. And now the Omen's been spotted, has to try and make this play. And blinds one, kills the other. Just now it's just, where is Pandu gonna look? And a clutch for Katsu keeps Maynooth down whilst they're already being kicked by TCD. I mean, this is brutal.
Yeah, honestly, and it's what a beautiful 1v2 there. Honestly, he took his timing on elbow. Although he missed the kill initially because he just didn't get it on time, he went back through elbow, got the kill on the deadlock main who didn't expect to swing out, and then got a perfect timing on the site Omen. Just beautiful 1v2, honestly. But it was way too close, honestly. That was their round to lose there. They got 3 early frags, and it looks like they're going back to this default, and this is a very important round. This is an eco-breaking round for Maynooth if they lose this. It's just going to snowball more and more if they keep losing these rounds.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same thing as we've seen these 3 plays towards mid with 1 player A, 1 player B on these lurks. And I mean, TCD, I wouldn't even say they've looked outstanding on these type of pushes, on these type of takes, but Maynooth have just had no answers, and it feels like they are just running the same things and hoping it'll work. I mean, that's the definition of insanity. As Rosev is actually able to find one onto Picky John and B. That's that B locked down, but Katsu's still here. They haven't completely abandoned A side, but the problem is Stefani's gone down in mid as well. This is starting to become dangerous as the spike will finally get picked up, and I mean, Harthian has a lot to do. And Katsu will find that kill to Zen as well, and all of a sudden this goes from going really good again to really bad for Maynooth, as this site is going to be in possession of TCD, and Katsu finds Pandu as well. And again, this is just fallen so short, as Bennis is now just been spotted, been blinded, and with only 10 seconds left, I mean, TCD have to get the spike down, and they will do thanks to Sofa, but Bennis has been pushed so far back, and Cammy's actually been expected. Captain does find that kill, and now Bennis is able to regroup and finds that kill to Harthian. But again, we've seen TCD win from these kinds of positions. We've seen Maynooth throw these types of positions before, and it's not a good start. Bennis goes down to Sofa. Now it's only Cammy remaining. Has to do so much with such few util as the TP faked from Sofa. Cammy has to get the spike defused, but can't find Sofa anywhere, and is going to be on this spike. Going to try and stick it in half, but not able to do it all the way. Is Sofa just playing the time now? And I don't think there's any time for Cammy. No, there's not, especially when Sofa's doing that. And it's another clutch from TCD. And once again, it's... I don't know what to say about Maynooth anymore.
It's just shenanigans. They had the man advantage, and some sort of insanity just kicked in onto Rosef there. He ran it down with 2 flashes, gets slowed and just dies, losing the advantage for his team. And I just want to talk about the macro that's coming in from the TCD side. They're looking so good mechanically, but their macro is looking way better than Maynooth. They're just outplaying them every single time. Their defaults are nice and slow. They're taking the space that they need. And if you look at Maynooth's map control, it just seems like it's shambles everywhere. They don't know where the enemy team is. They don't know where the lurks are coming in. And it's just looking so rough on the Maynooth side. It seems like they're getting outplayed at every facet.
Look at this. Rosev's going to go for this hero play. Find one. Maybe he could have stuck around for a second, but choosing to play safe rather than try and risk anything is... Well, I think he's going to be the one to go down. Sofa's going to try and make an aggressive play. The Verdi's gone down thanks to some spam from the smoke. And Sofa now has to leave that side. As Pink John finds one, but Rosev finds Sofa, and now Pink John's in that smoke. And the spike is here. And I mean, if you're Katsu, you have that from the shadows. Sure, you've actually managed to get onto this A site, and the spike has been dropped in B main, and that's what the plan is going to be, it seems.
I mean, they do have Omenult, so they can take this. This could be a winnable round if they manage to find a kill somewhere and maybe get an aggro play on any angle in the map. But other than that, it's just looking a bit rough here for TCD, and it might be the round that finally breaks their streak of winning rounds here. Oh, the TP is used. Piggy John versus... Oh my god, Piggy
Oh,
John
no.
catches Cammy on that ramps. This has brought them back into the run completely, especially with this Viper Pit in play. That's very big. They're going to have to retake through that Viper Pit, and this is just looking so rough now for this retake. It's definitely doable, but it's still looking rough.
Yeah, and you got to think as well that Maynooth have that slightly weaker weaponry, that Bulldog in the hands of Pandu. And they've got going to the Viper's Pit like John. Piggy John only being 20 HP is a helping hand as Katsu finds Rosev. Pandu is stunned up, blinded, but Zen and Pandu finding kills. And the rot has finally been stopped by Maynooth.
They finally answered to this streak that's just going on, and it's slightly deviating from the last map. This is their third round. That's more than they got on their first half of the last map. So this is very good. Now, they need to somehow convert this last round, and then we'll start talking about how doable this is, because they have been winning the pistol round. So if they win this last round and get the pistol and the anti-eco, then it's even... No, it's not evened up. Sorry, it's closer to evened up. They're still down, and it's looking more and more doable. But it starts with this round. They really need to convert this last round, and they have the ults to do it as well. They have 5 ults to the 1 on TCD's side. So once again, just don't hold on to the ults. Use them, and they can convert this round for sure.
Yeah, definitely so. Rosev's going to be popping that ult early. Again, this massive ult advantage for Maynooth. There's Harthian blinded swing out, but nothing really of value there. Sofa will be taken down first. Good start. But Cammy has lost that annihilation thanks to Piggy John. And has even managed to go forward through the stun, but Zen managed to catch that Viper out. And now Katsu is going to not expect Zen to be up there, because who would really go in the box when you think about it? Is now it's just Harthian and Duvernay in a 1 versus 4. And Duvernay has this ult that could be popped, but Harthy's going to have to try and make a hero play up mid, and is going to try and do so, but hello Rosev, and yep, that's a knife in the bottom. As now it's just Duvernay in a 1 versus 4, still has full util, but not looking positive.
It's looking a bit impossible, and he's going to have to perform miracles if he wants to win this. The Rolling Thunder finally used, and they finally see him on mid, and he gets caught by Zen. Honestly, it's a start to what could be a close map, because they are still down by 4 rounds, but if they win this pistol, it's looking more and more doable for the Maynooth side. And I'm noticing a bit of a trend on Maynooth's side here. It looks like they don't want to use ults, and they're saving them for some reason. So maybe if Maynooth start using their ults more actively, they might be able to confirm more of these rounds, because if we're looking at TCD and the rounds that they win, they just use the ults even if they're up 1 or 2, especially these Viper pits. They're using them so frequently to just secure the round, and it's something that Maynooth have to start doing if they want to match TCD and how well they are doing in getting these rounds. So we're starting off with a fast A hit, and this is being read slightly by the TCD side, because it looks like they have 3 people over to this A site, so this could be rough.
Definitely so, as it's going to be this fast hit for Maynooth on towards this A site. As Sofa trying to stay in that early fight, but won't find anyone but Hudley. Does find Rosev, and that's one of the deal of the squad, and that's the other. Beckers goes down towards that Hubby spot. Katsu jumping, does find Zen, and Hanju that gets that kill to Katsu, but now it's just Cammy, and Piggy's just running at him with a knife out, and there's a quick round, but not in the way that Maynooth would have wanted.
Yeah, and that's the first pistol round the TCD have won in this whole series. So it's starting to look more and more bleak as the rounds go on, honestly. If you're Maynooth, you need to pull a TCD and win the anti-eco here if you want to stay in this map, because it's just going to start running away with you if not, running away from you if not. And it's looking just so good from TCD. Their peak timings, the way they're taking their fights is just looking so nice and clear-cut, and it looks like they know what they're doing. So if they carry this on and win this anti-eco, it's just going to look more and more rough for this Maynooth side.
Yeah, look at this. This is aggression again from Maynooth, but Piggy John's just going to sweep him up and find 3 with that stinger. Katsu finds Zen in mid, and now Piggy John's just going for it. Might as well. With that classic, just a bit of BM there. So for no scope for that Marshall, a flawless round and double digits for TCD.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of what you want to see in an anti-eco round. You don't want to be losing any of your guns. And this is going to convert into such a nice bonus. Coming into this, they have 2 Spectres, a Judge, a Marshal, and a Stinger. Not the strongest weapons, but it's so good for an for a bonus. So this is your make or break moment for Maynooth. If they don't win this round, then it's practically done. Their eco is completely broken, and they're just two rounds from losing. So they're going to go for another fast A hit, but this time it looks like they're going to go for more ramps control with this stun.
Yeah, and well, Harthian's going to spray through that smoke and get Rosev, and I mean, it's all falling apart again. Rosev and Ben is the first 2 to go down. It just feels like playing out the rest of this map is more of a formality than anything else, as that Marshall is going to be putting in work in this. Only Pandora with that Vandal method. Biggie John's jumping with that Stinger. I mean, come on. An 11th round for TCD, and Maynooth look like they are out of it.
I mean, it's unbelievable levels of confidence coming in for TCD. They are doing whatever they want at this point, and Piggy John is just running it down and jumping around. He's playing a practically different game. He might as well be on Overwatch at this point. He's getting away with whatever he wants, genuinely. And something that I haven't pointed out as much is just TCD on their attack. Their duelists would go in and they would almost always get a kill straight off of their entry. And it's something that Maynooth side's duelists are just struggling so hard. They are getting those entries and then they just can't get any kills. And just, oh, nice little conversion.
Yeah, well, that's a kill if you wanted it right there. Pandu getting that first kill onto Sofa. And again, there's just going to be this high tempo attack side from Maynooth, just trying to form something out, but they're just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing if it will stick, and well, Taverni is sticking those bullets in the head of Maynooth. Zen will find that kill into the fade though, and could even find that kill into Piggy John, but even when blinded, the headshot is still there, and it's only Pandu with that Guardian. A 3k for Piggy John once again, and a 12th round on the board for TCD, sorry, to put them up to match point.
I mean, this is what you expect from your map pick. You want to see something dominant like this because it is the map that you're more expected to have practice on and a better understanding of. So this is really what you want to see, and not Maynooth struggling on their own map pick. It's just looking like a complete domination. Nothing Maynooth is doing seems to go right, and even when they get those early frags in the round and they're up going into it, they just can't convert those rounds. So this is it. Their buy is completely horrific, and this is as rough as it gets coming in on a round.
Yeah, there's Control C, Control V in this pace, and Bennis has gone down early again. And I mean, it's going to be rough to try and get back into this round as Harthin gets a second onto Rosev. And now 3 versus 5. They need a miracle to Maynooth, and that's the start of one as Zen gets that kill to Harthin, but Sofa blind through and actually get that kill to Cammy, onto Sofa, sorry. Is now, I mean, that Annihilation is ready and waiting, and Maynooth are just going to slow down for the first time in what's felt like this attack half. Just play this slowly, and that Annihilation used to clear out the rest of Heaven, and not going to hit anything. But meanwhile, Taverni is on that flank, as the rest of Maynooth are just completely like happy to look at CT, and Taverni, the knife in the back, finally stabs its target. Is Taverni now finding one, but not finding any more as Kirby takes down that flank. As now, I mean, look at this. What is going on now? The Omens have swapped places. It's Katsu on site, and Pandu's just in heaven in that tower. 20 seconds remaining. They have to hit this A site, and Katsu's going to get that timing onto Pandu, but won't find the shots. As now, Pinky John's all the way over that B side. And it's now going to have to do that long rotation, and he's going to do it backwards because why not? But I mean, Maynooth might have a shot at doing this, but once again, we've seen them do this before. We've seen them throw this away, and with Piggy John only needing to get that one kill before the Viper's pit can be properly used, but blinded up and hit with that deadlock nade, and just pulling it out at the wrong time as Cammy gets a 3k to keep Maynooth into this game for just a little while longer at least.
I mean, That was TCD's round to win. They got those 2 early frags, and both duelists just decided, you know what, round is over, let's run it down. And they did. They died, both of them. And just some complete shenanigans once again on that A side. I don't know how those Omens swapped positions, but those smokes are just all over the place. And these timings that we're seeing in this game are just ridiculous, to be completely honest. And now, coming into this, a little more life coming in on Maynooth's side, and hopefully they can start converting some more rounds, because honestly, this isn't looking close at all.
Yeah, and it's going to be a more aggressive hit, but towards B this time, as Bennis will be scouted out, and this Viper while he comes in, just to try and slow down Maynooth, but I don't think there's any slowing down Maynooth here. There's now this B hit's going to come in any second now. There we go. And, I mean, the wrong thing to use, but actually sets up Bennis, but Carry gets one through the smoke, and Sofa manages to trade that deadlock, so it's a good start for Maynooth, but it's equalised quickly as Deverny actually hears the footsteps of Bennis, and a bit of spam I think there was from Deverny, but not able to hit Bennis. I'm not going to expect the push through from the Neon. There's a convergent path to use Sofa. It's just gotten away with the ult for free. Coming out of the ult, all 3 players from Maynooth are playing in main. Katsu has an easy defuse, and it's going to stick it from half. It's going to stick it all the way, but Rosin just about swings out just in time. And that was a squeaky bum moment if I've ever seen one, but Maynooth just about come back into it.
I mean, it's such a close round, and the retake was good, to be honest. They got the eye onto the player on site, so then instantly off of that, the Euro gets behind him and kills him through his ult, and they slowed all 3 main players, which it looked like a perfect retake, but Rosev swung out, got his 2, and just ended the round. So nice clean round. Well, not the cleanest of rounds, but it's a round nonetheless, and this is kind of what you want to be seeing. You want them to start picking up this momentum, and you want them to start getting those kills that are so close. Oh, insta-frag.
Yeah, insta-frag on the Sofa, and again, somehow TCD aren't expecting this pace from Maynooth, which is weird, because this is what Maynooth have done every round on the attack side, is Bennis is going to bait for Zen, and Harthy goes down. Pikachu finds one with the Sheriff though, so not completely done yet, and Katsu comes around the flank but doesn't expect Pandu to be on top. Both players of TCD are on the flank, as Pandu is going to have to stay strong, blinds up one, but Pidgeon gets that headshot into Pandu, and it's a 2 versus 2 now. Similar weaponry, Bennis almost whiffy, but it makes up for it with the 2k. Is Maynooth really starting to come back into it?
Yeah, they're starting to come back into the game here, and this is what we wanted to see from the start. Honestly, we didn't want to see a steamroll here. So if they keep this up, then it's going to turn into a very nice map. But coming into this, very bad buy on TCD's side. They don't have the money to buy actual weaponry. We see one Vandal, maybe a Bulldog we're going to see. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be just a weak buy here, and also they don't have the ult advantage. So this is Maynooth's side, Maynooth's round to win. But we've seen TCD do some outrageous things, so they could still pick up these rounds. You never know what to expect with them.
Yeah, look at this. Another fast hit on towards this B side. The Bennis isn't going to expect to Verdi with the Bucky right there. Zen finds that pick onto Piggy John as the Annihilation misses and once again I don't know if that's actually hit anyone yet. Oh no, it hit Deverny a few rounds ago. And Deverny's going to find 3 with the Bucky, not stopping for anyone. Pandu does eventually take that evade, but the damage is more than done. And, I mean, Maynooth are surrounded now as Katsu on that flank. And you have Harthian and Sofa in front, and I mean, they've got to take one of these fights, but they've got to take the right one. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take the right one. But still, weaker weaponry for both Sofa and Katsu. Sofa's actually going to pick up that Bucky as well, but only a few shots traded out, and yeah, Maynooth are leaving, but they're going to be heard all the way by Katsu. Or at least that's what they thought. But Katsu is going to hear that there's no more steps. And now the question's been raised again here on this round. As now Pandu and Zen are going to have to come back in. They're going to have to recollect both of these players. And Zen does a good job taking down Sofa, but now it's a 1 versus 2 still. 15 seconds remaining, and Harthian's right there, but Zen's getting off the plant as well. Surrounded on all flanks, has to make such a hero play. Finds one, but isn't going to have enough time. And it's going to have to stick it now. Has it, but Harthian not quick enough to the chase as now. Harthian is just going to wait for Zen to make the misplay. And again, TCD have to wait a little bit longer for their fate to be confirmed, but they will get this map and they will win this match in a fairly dominant 2-0 fashion.
Very good. Very convincing fashion, honestly. And Maynooth only showing signs of life in both maps when it's practically over and the other team is already on 12 rounds. Just a very good showing from TCD, to be honest. They had their foot on the pedal that entire game, and they just seemed like they had the control of the both maps from start to finish practically. Even when the fake comebacks were starting, it looked like they were happening because TCD were allowing it to happen. So very well played, and once again, Picky John just top frag again, 23 and 14. Very good showing from him. It's just a very good showing from TCD as a whole.
Yeah, definitely so. And Maynooth misery piled on to them still without a win so far in the spring split as TCD make it 2-0 in their run so far, beating DCU in a reverse sweep and now beating Maynooth in dominant fashion. Definitely one of the top teams to look out for, especially considering they only lost in those quarterfinals by the eventual champions UCD. But I want to say before we end stream today, thank you once again to our sponsors, PlayAid, GG Machines, Dogpatch, and of course the one and only Red Bull. And hopefully, whilst you were enjoying this match, you were sipping on some good Red Bull. And we will be back next week with more Valorant. But stay tuned for more IECS action this week with Rocket League, CS2, and League of Legends. We'll be back tomorrow with Rocket League. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.